wave your hand. Yeah, it says it's recording right now.
There we go.
So we're being recorded. Also, if you have any issues at all, make sure you either flash up a piece of paper with your unit number on it or wave and scream or whatever you have to do. We'll try to take care of them right away.
Oh,
Today's meeting will be conducted in Bill.
I'm here.
No comment. Hang on.
Need your ears, Margo.
Today's meeting will be conducted in both Spanish and English as per the law that regulates the condominium regime for the state of Nayarit. Due to the fact that the majority of the owners are English speaking today, today's meeting will be conducted in English. If we have provided translation services and will designate David Lopez as the translator who will assist any Spanish speaking people or owners during the meeting as it is required. If the translation is needed, please raise your hand to be recognized. Celia. The purpose of today's meeting is to report on the operations and financial matters of the condominium, thus giving you the opportunity to participate in the decision-making process that will directly affect you as condominium owners. Before we start, I'd like to present some procedural items with respect to today's meeting that I'm sure we've all heard before, but anyway. Yeah, we have to go through this. The meeting is structured to address only those items listed on the agenda, which you should all have previously received in your email package and gone through. The meeting will be conducted according to Mexican law procedures. The meeting will be directed by the chairman of the assembly. Owners may speak when recognized by the chair. The assembly will designate the chairman and the secretary of the meeting, as well as the inspectors of voting, for the counting of votes if required, to be able to reach an agreement on each of the agenda items as follows. Approval or opposition by the majority of votes, or unanimous approval or motion decline. Discussion period at the end of the meeting is reserved for discussion items of a general nature that are of interest or affect all or the majority of owners. To answer your specific questions relative to your condominium, we ask that you pose these questions to the appropriate person after the meeting, if you could. Before going to roll call, I'd like to introduce to you the people that currently manage or service your condominium. Please wave and acknowledge when I call your name. Your current vigilance committee is comprised of myself, Keith Wilson, William With, who's here, Dr. Bruce Wheeler, who's here, and our alternate, and a big part of our VC is Shirley Rudolph. Not big as in large, I didn't mean that. We always respect having her on VC. Your building manager is David Lopez, who's on there somewhere.
Right there.
And the OVR AC is represented by Wesley Beers, Sue Orm, and Mike Trzynka. Our external legal counsel is licensed Claudia Cardina Luna, and our accountant is Yvette Reina Berber, who's absent today and represented by David Lopez. Okay, with the introductions behind us, let's proceed to the first item on the agenda, which is a roll call. Purpose of the roll call is to count the number of condo owners present and or represented by proxy in order to determine if a quorum is present. Only owners who have registered for this meeting are current regarding all fees owing to OVR and have the required authorization from their bank holding their trust, if necessary, will be allowed to vote. Also, if you hold a proxy for another owner, that proxy must be verified. No person will be allowed to represent more than 2 units, whether by means of either proxy or ownership. Okay, for the first call and second calls, 9 and 9:30, the number of owners present did not meet the required legal quorum to start the assembly. At the third call, 10 a.m., we had 17%.
Oh, 24.
17%, 17 out of, not percent, 17 out of 54 units. Based on the registration that preceded this meeting, we have the following information. 28% of unit owners are attending. This represents 23.3% of the condominium pro individual. As there is a legal quorum present, I hereby declare the General Ordinary Assembly as a valid meeting of the owners and therefore officially declare the meeting open. Thank goodness. The next item on the agenda is the designation of chairman, secretary, and inspectors of voting for this meeting. Since I am conducting the meeting today, I will act as the chairman. I would like to propose that licensed Claudia Cardenia Luna be appointed as secretary. Claudia is fluent in both Spanish and English, so she can record and write up today's minutes. I would also like to propose that Claudia Cardenia Luna be appointed as a legal representative for this meeting and responsible for translating the minutes into Spanish and submitting them for certification by the notario as required by Mexican law. As chairman and without objection, I would like to appoint David Lopez and Ross McCurdy as inspectors of voting. Now, can we now have a motion to accept these designations? Please give, pardon me?
504.
Okay. All in favor? Yeah, it's unanimous. There was no one opposed, I assume? No, okay. Okay, now we're going to have the activities report. The next item in the agenda is the activities report for the second and third quarters of 2021, including capital budget plan items. The purpose of this report is to bring you up to date on the significant operation and administrative matters of the condominium. The list should have been included in your email package and also will be displayed this time. The report will be given by David. Where's David? There's David. So you want to go ahead, David, and give your report, your activities report?
I'm gonna be translating Celia.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do it right now, but then I'm gonna do on mute. So please, I want to ask you to mute until you want to speak, so there's no noise. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Mute.
I can't hear you, Margot.
You have to mute it.
I have to mute it.
So this is the OBR maintenance report, November 2021. We provide maintenance to the extinctors. We purchase new fire hoses. We install corridor lamps. So we finish with all that stuff. Terrazas and corridor have the new lamps. We install the perimeter fence south section. No maintenance is really nice to have it. We isolate the chill water pipe with the thermosmart, and we cover all the chases, so we kept the temperature on the chill water, and we save money doing that. We purchased a variator for hydro system that helps to manage the pumps of the hydro. All the drinking water is manipulated by that system, so it's working fine. We have maintenance tools. We have a file in space in our budget, so we just added, and we continue doing improvements in maintenance tools. We did a lobby refresh. We paint the columns in the first and the second floor, stamp it with sponge. It's a very interesting thing. You should see it. They put firstly like a primer and then start doing the painting. Really, really nice and artisanal job. We do the lobby painting and lighting. So as you see in the pictures, we have in the night the indirect light. So the columns looks awesome. We do in the ceiling all the LED light. So it gives a cozy ambience. And also we put the frame on the security room. The owners that are here and they can see, I have a very good comments about it. It's very smooth and it's really classic.
Mm-hmm.
We did garden improvements. We relocate sprinkles and pipes for the garden. We replace plants on the condominium. they were getting old. Their branches were very wide, and they are starting to have a lot of infection and not looking good shape. So we changed all the areas and we put new plants. Looks lovely. Also, we get some garden equipment. We have a multi-system that they have a lot of tools. So for gardening, will be better to trim easy and in a best way done. We did pool improvements. We bought a variable speed pump that, believe it or not, gave us a lot of savings in chemics. That with the also attached with the jacuzzi's filters, and we changed sand. So we are saving a lot of chemics on the pool chemics. So it's working. It's really nice. And in the administrative improvements, we're always, every year we look for a better firm of insurance. This is a new insurance in Vallarta, but it's all in Mexico City. I know them for years, and they are expanding. So they are providing very good prices in their insurance. So we get approached to them, and we talk, and we have better deals in deductibles, and the fee for getting the insurance, it's very fair, very nice, and that's what we got. I send the insurance policy to Greg so he can public on the website, and as soon as we got the 2022, I'm gonna send it to him again, so we can put it into the web and everybody can look at it. And we every year do the CPR training and rescue, and now that we have the DEA, we improve also the training on that to our staff, and we check constantly the equipment, so it has the good voltage. We just changed the batteries on September, so it's working fine. So thank you. That's my report.
Thanks, David. There's a lot of good things going on, and we appreciate all the work by the staff as well as yourself. The staff all seems like they're working like crazy. They're happy. They're singing. And the garden area and the lobby are starting to come together and look excellent.
Thank you.
So we just need a motion to approve the activities report. Mike? Some of you guys are still muted.
That's okay, David asked.
Sorry, Mike.
Okay, that's okay. All in favor, please raise your hand. It's unanimous.
Thank you.
Oh, that's what he does.
Approved unanimous.
So David, did Celia get all that?
Oh, you're muted.
Okay. I don't know if he's talking to her.
All right.
Yeah, he is. Okay.
Okay. Okay, we're gonna move on to the budget. Copy of the financial statements were sent out to the owners, obviously available for your review. We also held a budget review and info session yesterday to review the budget in detail and capital projects as well. So no questions will be entertained at this time. I think we've gone through everybody's concerns previously and yesterday. The budget will also be available on our Ocean Vista website as soon as we get everything available, make it available. And the presentation will be given by Wes Beers. Wes?
So David, are you going to put the budget up?
He is now.
Multitasking.
Here we go.
So I've been looking at all the people that are at the meeting right now. I think except for Cecilia, everybody was part of the session yesterday, so we can go fairly quickly through this. In terms of the highlights, so for income, we're going to show a 4.7%. Somebody's got a dog.
I don't think he likes the budget, Wes.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty poorly right now.
Is it
My
Bill?
budget's gone to the dog.
Yeah, I know the ducks there.
So anyway, the highlights in the income section are that we're increasing maintenance payments by 4.7%.
I got no sound.
We reduced the prepayment discount from 3% to 2%. We didn't actually have as many people take advantage of it last year, but
I think our
because
internet's
the
still screwed up.
interest rates in Mexico have gone from 6% down to 3%. We can't get a good return in order to maintain that discount at that level. The AC is reflecting of really what the costs to produce the electricity are. There was questions about that yesterday, and we're trying to get new information to people so that
Mute. Oh, go back to where it was,
it's computed.
but go back to Ken.
Somebody's on. I don't
Mute.
know.
Says
Excuse
mute.
me,
Maybe
whoever,
you've got it
excuse
on
me,
mute.
whoever's talking,
Ken needs to mute. There,
Need
he's
to mute.
muted now.
Maybe
He's
not
muted.
even
You can't be
Oh,
talking. I know, but you can't be talking in case we turn on the speaker. That's what I'm
Speaker's
saying.
on,
You
whoever's
can talk,
talking.
but you can't-
speaker's on,
I know, but
quiet.
Okay,
Sorry, how do you want to
I
deal
don't know where
that?
the mic is on this.
I just take it down a little bit.
who is it?
Me.
Is it done?
Bill. Bill?
No, it's not Bill.
No, Bill, Trudy's Bill. The other Bill. I don't
Oh.
think it's our Bill. really.
No, it's Ken somebody.
Ken?
701.
Oh, 701.
So are they stopped now?
Yes.
Okay,
So we'll move into the expense side of the budget. We're increasing the salaries for staff by an annual amount of 4.4%. We're going to provide them a 3% increase effective January 1 and a 3% increase effective July 1. Inflation in Mexico, I think David said the official number was 6.8%. So this is under the total inflation, but inflation doesn't affect every cost to everybody. So we think this is a reasonable place for us to be. The only other thing I wanted to highlight, because most of the benefits are strictly a matter of percentages given to us by the government that are applied against salaries. We're continuing our temporary help item of 40,000 pesos. We didn't use it last year, but in past years we've had opportunities where we really needed some extra help to get things going. So we're going to keep it just as a safety valve. Moving to administration, the big items here are the building insurance. David found a really good deal, so our premiums went way down for the same, in fact, a little bit better coverage. And the reason that the number for the budget year is 580, even though it was only 536 actual, is that we've finally, because it's supposed to have been there before, put the director's insurance policy into this line item. So that's why it's 580. It's about 40,000 pesos a year for that policy. So this should be a true reflection of our costs for next year. And David's already contacted the insurance company, and they don't plan on increasing premiums this next year. So that was good news. On the hotel use, we didn't have to pay the hotel for January, February, and March because of COVID. So that's why it shows at 499 for the actual. We expect it to go to full use next year, which would put us right around 604,000. Moving into our regular maintenance section, the highlights there were really pretty much in line with with all of our budgeted items. Our increases there are really mostly focused on inflation and the cost of chemicals. David pointed out that our pool chemical use, because of the variator pump, has reduced our overall costs. However, we expect there might be shortages of chemicals next year. So we're anticipating trying to buy early and make sure we've got enough money for that. The other one, which is a small item, but it's just right in our face all the time, is our under fumigation. We have our pest control trying to catch the coatimundis or raccoons or whatever name we want to apply to them. We captured over 30 of them last year. They were relocated a number of miles away, so hopefully we don't come back. But there's still 6, 7, 8 of them around. We believe that they're attracted mostly to the garbage on the public beach, but in fact, their whole habitat has been destroyed by Vedante and all the work they're doing in the river basin. They're literally rebuilding that whole basin. So the animals there have no place to go. So we're kind of on the back end of that. All the other costs here we discussed yesterday. Again, where there's increases from actual, we're applying it for mostly for the cost of chemicals and inflation. And then in services, this is still one of the areas that we're really happy with. In 2018, we were budgeting almost a million pesos a year for electricity in the common areas. And that includes your air conditioning plus all the common area usage. We're down now to our estimate for this year. And all of these are estimates, but we believe 747 is the highest. Ernesto thinks it's going to even be a little bit lower than that. So we only factored in a 2% increase in that. And that is really, a lot of that is due to two things: the heat pumps, which are much more efficient than the chillers. And then also Ernesto in particular and Romero have reprogrammed all of our electric use so that we only use the electricity in most affordable time charges from TFE. So if you use electricity in the evening, you don't get charged as much as during the day. So they've reprogrammed everything to do that. And Ernesto still believes he can do more in that area.
Do we have that graphic, Wes?
David, do you have that graph? Is that?
I just think it'd be nice if everybody saw that, because again, since we brought on the new maintenance staff and when Ross and the team worked on the new, cooling system, I mean, it's really been dramatic.
Yeah, it's easily 250,000 pesos a year from where we were going.
Yeah, and this is net of the CFE increases. It also took
Right.
place over that time.
Right. Yeah.
Just take it on up, David. Keep on going.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Mike, do you want to walk through this one?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's pretty basic. I mean, we've got the actual consumption in kilowatt hours, and then again, the cost in pesos, and then what we're actually spending on the propane. So on the electric side, the two bars to the left, you can see over the 4-year period, where we started and the continual drop. And again, that's in straight kilowatt hours. But when you go to the right of that, with the amount in pesos, and again, that includes the increases in CFE cost over the years. You can see a pretty dramatic drop to where we've been. And the same with the propane. Now, what you do see in 2021 is a kick up in the propane, which again, that was caused by the very mild winter early this year, where, it was pretty chilly around here for quite some time. And therefore, we couldn't use the heat off the heat pumps because we weren't cooling the water for air conditioning. But again, we're going to resolve that with a new system for next year. So anyhow, I just think there's We should be really proud of the maintenance team we have, who are very educated and capable of figuring out how to continue to save all the owners money. They've done a great job.
Yeah, excellent.
So David, go back to the budget now. Thanks, Mike. So, don't, no, stay back in just let me go back to see propane again. So just so you can see, our actual for propane, it's always hard to do the actual, because we just fill up the tank. So whenever we fill up the tank, we add the money together, and that's how we measure our costs. But we did go 102,000 this year. We're only budgeting 50,000 for next year. And that's because the new standalone heat pump that's not hooked up to the water system, it's a standalone augmentation that will allow us to provide more warm water for the pool and jacuzzi. That's primarily the reason we're doing it. All of our owners seem to become very comfortable with the pool temperatures around 86. And so by doing this, we're hoping to be able to keep it that without the extra cost of propane. So once this budget's approved, then we can work at ordering the equipment, and the installation hopefully would be done early January, February, but we won't start seeing the benefits until it's fully installed. So we may have to use a little more propane this year than we'd like to, but at some point we're really seeing an opportunity to get the propane down, to just a minimal amount. And then the special charges, this is a federal zone permit. As probably most of you know, we've been waiting for a permit from the federal Mexican government for over 5 years. We put in our application. It was a little higher this year. The normal fee is about 91,000. We had to pay our consultant to go to Mexico City because he needed to refile some of the paperwork because there was a new government and they had to, do stuff. So that was some transportation costs. So next year we just gave them a little 6% bump. And so that ends up with our total expenses. We're about 7% above our actuals. These are just projected numbers for now. We won't have the final numbers for 2021 until late February, and they'll be presented to the owners at the March meeting. There's still some expenses that are probably going to come in. One of them is we are taking 70,000 pesos from savings in this year's maintenance budget. And I think next Thursday, we're scheduled to have a contractor come into the building who's familiar with the foundations. And what we wanted to do is after we saw the disaster in Florida earlier this year, we wanted, because we're right on the ocean, we've got a lot of similar characteristics, though we're not as old as that building was. We thought it'd be prudent to have somebody come in and do a preliminary examination. It won't be real detailed, but they'll give us some idea of if they see any issues that we need to attend to. So that's going to be happening. So these numbers are going to fluctuate a little bit, and we'll finalize them. But as our budget's put together for 2022, we would have about a 17,000 peso operating savings. So that takes care of the maintenance budget.
Yeah, Wes, I'd just like to comment that I think this structural engineer coming in and doing this will go a long way to a portion of yesterday's discussion on the reserve fund and the condition of the buildings, maybe not entire envelope, but the foundation and the structural part of the building. And of course, he'll do a lot of other things while he's here. So that will help provide some additional data that we currently don't have today about the building.
Absolutely. Yeah. But we just wanted to be on top of things, not behind. So we were fortunate. David found this guy out of Guadalajara, and so we'll get some information, and as soon as we get a report or whatever, we'll pass it on to the owners. So David, go up to the reserve budget now. Okay, so we had an extensive discussion yesterday, a very good discussion. I think it accomplished two things. I think it gave everybody more of a firsthand knowledge of how budget is put together and how we use the reserve fund. And then I think it led to a conversation where everyone believes we need to spend a little bit more time looking at the balances that we want to maintain in our reserve fund. So before March, we'll put together a group and start looking at what's the appropriate level of reserve that we should maintain in the building. And so that'll be an interesting product. But as you can see, so this shows both what happened in 2021 and then our proposed capital projects for 2022. So the way we funded our activities this year is we took 604,000 from the actual reserve fund. We had about 86,000 in interest. We charged the owners 300,000. And then we expect a rollover about 142,000 at the end of 2021 expenses. The second column is our actual budget. And you'll see here that the amount from the reserve fund increased by about 50,000. And I'll explain that as we go down through the chart. And then in 2022, we use the same methodology to put together the budget for the 2022 plan. Let's slide up a little bit more, David. Go to the expenses. Okay, so let's stop here. And so the column on the left shows all of our projects for 2021. That was what we budgeted for them, and the total cost is done. We're right on top of each of these projects. The column in the middle is what we actually spent. So we had some savings. We went to the Vigilance Committee and asked if they would support moving savings from within the budget to the lobby project because we needed a little bit more to finish that off. We've got the painting, the lighting, all of that's done. We're still working on the furniture component right now, but we think we might be able to finish it all off with that. And so this just reflects what it really costs. So the elevator, we did it's a little bit more than the budget, but you have savings in the equipment and tool replacement. So it came to a total of 1,093,000. And then David, move down a little bit now. I want to get to the elevator problem. Can you move up? Move 2022 up. David, are you there? Okay. Yeah, I want to get to the unplanned projects. Okay. So just make 2022 at the top of the page. Put the capital projects up to the very top. That should move it up a little bit more.
There you go.
Okay. It actually still doesn't show up. It just shows a little bit. Move it just a little bit more so we can get to the unplanned project, David. See the electric variator. Move it up just a little bit more. There. Okay. We had a part, it's called a electric variator in the elevators that went out. And we turned that in as a claim against our insurance company. And they paid approximately 80%. It's like 156,000 total. So we only had to pay our share of it, which was came to about 50,000. So that's why the reserve fund budget shows higher than budgeted, because we had to take that out of the reserve in order to cover this budget item. But there's two good things there. It shows that our insurance company is working and we got that claim settled, and that also we have flexibility with our reserves to cover unplanned items. So David, go back now to the top of 2022. Yeah, right there. So this is our capital projects plan for 2022. We have an ongoing program on the roofs. All the material, all of the costs here for preventive maintenance on the roofs is 30,000 pesos is materials. And then our staff are going through and doing preventive maintenance on the edges of the roof so that we can't keep it. So each section of the building in a cycle goes through, we'll be doing this. So this is like an ongoing cost, but it's much more efficient to do this than replace a roof. So we're really doing pretty good on that. The rails, especially at the higher levels of the building, have been taking a beating, the rails around the terrazas. And we've started this program several years ago, and Ernesto and his staff take the rails off, bring them down, sand them, repaint them, and put them back. Much cheaper than replacing them. And again, this will be an ongoing project as long as necessary. Pipe insulation, you saw some pictures earlier. This is going to finish out putting insulation around the cold water pipes in the chases. Again, will give us more efficiency and make it a better system. And this again is just material. Our staff do the work. We have 2 more rounds of fire control hose that we had to replace. We just put it all into this one budget because it's faster to do it. We did one section last year. We're doing the remaining 2 sections this year. It's one of those situations we don't use the fire hoses. This building actually doesn't seem like it needs them, but by code it does. So we're going to replace them because they were rotting in the little cabinets. Just an aside on the cabinets, one of the things staff did this last year is they tapped into each of the fire cabinets and put in a hose valve. So now instead of having to go up to down and fill up that big tub and bring the tub up to every floor to water the plants, they can just bring the tub to each floor, use the hose bib, fill it, and then be done. It saves a lot of time. The second item here, or the next item, is the heat pump contract. And that's a portion of the contract that we have agreed to when we put in the original heat pumps. This is the last year of that contract. The first part is more of the maintenance. This part's more of the equipment side of it. And that's going to be renegotiated in 2023. So that's just a standard and it's going. We budget tools and parts at 100,000 pesos. We don't always use all of it, but we need that flexibility because things break. We need a new sewer water pump. So that is the $7,500 item, peso item. We need a new jacuzzi pump. And then the next item is the 189,000, and that will be, this will be the 3rd year of our replacement project for the fences. The entire south side is done. This will bring do all the front side of the building, and right underneath that is a 53,000 peso item to replace the auto gate with an aluminum gate, which will be less maintenance and much easier to more efficient. We're going to the next item is the one that we think is really important, and this is to purchase another heat pump, help us during the winters when the temperatures don't require a lot of extra air conditioning in the building. Mike, do you want to make just a couple of comments about how this works?
Well, yeah, it's just, as you said earlier, it's just a standalone unit that does work just as a heat pump providing heat. So it will not do anything else. It doesn't mean it couldn't do anything else. If we decided we need to hook it into the cooling system, we could probably do that. But it's just really set up to provide heat into the heat exchangers to keep the pool and the jacuzzi up to the temperatures that we've all agreed to. And I think the plus of that, again, is I think we'll be pretty much eliminating the need for propane in the cool winters. And I think it all took us by surprise last year, the huge difference by by not running, any air conditioning or very little air conditioning in the units, how that impacted our propane use to keep the pool at a somewhat reasonable temperature.
Thanks, Mike. So then we need a new cistern filling valve, 3-inch valve, and that's 26,000. We're gonna upgrade and replace the electric board in the machine room. And then we need to change valves for the jacuzzi and the pool. And that's 50,000. And then every year, as we explained in the budget letter that went out, we're going to just add 25,000 pesos into our retirement reserve. So that's a separate component within our reserve fund dedicated to retirement. I think at the end of this year, we have about 125,000. We'll just keep adding that every year. We have relatively a new, younger workforce, so we don't think we need to tie up a lot of owners' money into retirement right this second. We have enough to cover our needs, and that's always been the issue. We just wanted to be sure we didn't have to all of a sudden come up with a bunch of money if somebody leaves, and so we're in good shape on that. That comes in at 838,000 pesos. It's fully funded, and that is the end of my report.
Thanks, Wes. Excellent work on behalf of yourself and the whole team, especially our maintenance people who are, including Ernesto, of course, and Romero, that have seemed to be doing a fantastic job. And that's one of the reasons that these numbers look so good. So thanks again. We now need a motion to accept 2022 budget, including the capital projects. We have a name and
504.
504. Okay, thanks, Ross. All in favor of accepting the budget 2022? Anybody opposed? It's approved unanimously. Okay, we're just going to set a date for the regular annual general meeting next year, and it will be Saturday, March 12th, 2022, which is always a date that we try to keep. Okay, now we're going to get into the question and answer period. Usually, half an hour, 45 minutes, whatever it takes. And it's obviously reserved for questions and discussion items of a general nature that are of interest to or affect all of the owners. If you have specific questions regarding your unit that haven't been asked, then please do so with the appropriate person after the meeting or by email. Also, like to also thank the team that is, once again, that has put together the lobby refresh, including Shirley, Nancy, Adele, Lana, and Juan, and anybody else who was involved with them, to just say you're doing a great job. After we've seen all the pictures in the evening, it looks fantastic, and the new addition to the guard's desk makes it even look classier. So looking forward to new furniture and some pots and plants and over the next little while. So bear with the team, and it's all coming together now. Also, just thanks to everybody for all their hard work. Anyway, we'll go ahead, and anybody who has specific questions, please state your name and your unit number, and we can go from there. Any additional questions from yesterday? I know there's quite a few came up then. Yeah, Wes?
I don't have a question, but I did want to make a recognition. If people haven't had a chance to see it yet, Shirley and maybe Bill, I don't know, but donated the 2 new big pots in the front of the driveway for the building, and then identified the appropriate plant to go in it. So we've got some kind of tall palms that are sitting there. Looks really good, and
Really good.
really appreciative of that donation. And I think we're going to kind of use some of those similar ideas on pots for inside the lobby. So anyway, that really was a nice touch. Thank you. Really.
Looks good, yeah. We're sort of keeping the Mayan flavor and yet updating everything, so that's good. Any other questions? Frank?
What's the latest update on Ghazi?
Well, we're gonna move the Cotamundis in with him and see how he makes out. Okay?
You know, we went through that yesterday. Claudia's still here. Claudia, could you do a quick summary of where we are?
Yes, I mentioned yesterday in the report that in this year, David went twice to court, opened some. Let me check. Yeah, you listen to me, right?
Yes,
Oh, okay, thank you. I thought that it was off. Twice to the court to answer some questions and present some documents. And finally, we presented in October, all the trial must be over because there is no pendants on the trial. So we presented in October, we submit before the court, the judge, a letter asking the final resolution. If we don't have an answer or final resolution, and by final, I mean by the resolution of the judge. If any party lose, they can still appeal, okay? So I want to tell you that, but we need that resolution. We need that resolution. If we don't have it by December, we will submit again another letter and we will go to check the file to see if we can do something to push the final resolution of the judge. And beside that, we will present another trial just to cover the gap between the day that we presented the lawsuit, the pendant maintenance fees, between when we presented the lawsuit, because Ghazi stopped paying since 2015. So we presented in 2018, I think. So we will cover that gap from that day till now, just to be sure to obtain a resolution to obligate Ghazi to pay all pendant maintenance fees.
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other further questions? Shirley, you're muted, you're muted. Can't hear you. Okay,
The idea yesterday that perhaps we couldn't collect penalties. Is that not Nayarit law that at least we can collect some level of penalties as well as the actual fee?
Yes, there is different resolutions. For example, for maintenance fee, there's certain time to collect. Some judges stay 2 years, some other 5 years. But for extraordinary fees, no limit. For penalties, the judge might resolve that are too high. So it's the judge's criteria because the law states certain penalties that are according to the minimum wage. The Nayarit condominium law state a certain fines, and these fines and that is being applied after the second fine, it's duplicated, and then I think it's triplicated. So the judge will resolve if it's fair or not. But the answer is yes, we can collect all maintenance penalties, maintenance from ordinary and the extraordinary, like for the fund, for the reserve fund that they are extraordinary. We can collect. We just have to wait what the judge resolve, because there is different criteria. You know, I see all kind of. We just with my partner get in Nayarit a resolution in favor, and the guy was owing over 10 million pesos, and the judge resolved that it was fine to collect all that. So we don't know. We will check how this judge will resolve.
okay,
Besides that, remember that the resolution might go in the way to sell the unit to recover the pendant fees or to collect the pendant fees.
Keith?
Wes?
Yeah, I meant to mention this during my budget report, but one of the items that we have in the budget is an amount for assemblies. Now, the Zoom meetings are pretty low cost because we don't have to provide Roots with brownies. But we put in money in case starting in March, pandemic issues are gone and we go back to live meetings again. And the question, during the discussion yesterday, the question came up, well, maybe we should see what the owners think. Do we want to keep doing Zoom meetings or do we want to have live meetings? I'm very skeptical that we have the capacity to do a simultaneous Zoom and live. I think that would be pretty difficult with the amount of equipment we have. But anyway, we just thought maybe we should get a straw vote from people just to get an idea of what people might think on that issue.
Well, yeah, we can just put your hand up if you think that we should revert back to having an in-house meeting, or, well, to start with, if we want to have a regular meeting
In March?
in March, I guess.
Yeah, an in-person meeting, where we,
In-person type meeting. Is anybody okay with that, or would you rather
Well,
just continue with the Zoom?
Yeah, if we can't do a combo, I just think the big plus about the Zoom, as you can see on the screen, there's a number of people that are participating that aren't here. And to me, that's a huge advantage. I mean, if for some reason I couldn't be here, while I can always give my vote to somebody, I'm not involved in the conversation and hearing everything. So, and I know Greg's on, so maybe we can consult with Greg a little bit and get his assessment of what we could do to do a combined meeting. Because if we can't, then I would vote just for the Zoom as opposed to just a live meeting.
Yeah,
Just my opinion.
I could certainly help out from the software side of things or from a technical side. As far as combining it with like an on-site presentation, I'm not sure what all would be involved with that. My personal preference would be to do the Zoom for exactly the same reasons that Mike says. I just think it provides a lot more opportunity for people to attend no matter where they are, which is a huge advantage. And then I always found with the on-site meetings that they were, because they were always in a closed situation, there's a lot of people mingling, it was just a very inefficient way to communicate, right? So I'm perfectly happy with this, but I noticed it's not well attended. So I don't know if that's because people are having trouble with technical issues or people just don't have interest or what it is. But from a technical side, maybe people would prefer to do it in person. I don't know.
He likes to Zoom.
why don't we just get a hand by hand vote if people want to do a in-person meeting, and then we
Okay.
kind of go from there.
Everybody.
Can I make one more suggestion?
Yeah, go ahead.
There are some people that, for instance, right now, Rosemary down the hall, I don't think she's on, but she was confused about the meeting this morning. Nancy Adele is here. I don't think she's in. She hasn't gotten hooked up yet. Would it be possible, instead of, if we did a Zoom meeting, that there also be a screen downstairs, for instance, in the lobby or somewhere, where the people that aren't really technically that efficient could also be sort of in a group somewhere, and then everybody else is on, we're all on Zoom, but have a bigger screen where people can get together that don't have a laptop or don't have a iPhone or whatever.
Well, we could look
David
into
can take
that.
his laptop out into the lobby and just kind of mirror the laptop onto a larger screen. You can
Right.
certainly do that.
Right.
That's a good idea, Shirley.
That is a good idea.
Can I also mention that the participation rate, you might think it's low, but it's very consistent whether we have in-person or Zoom. So I think if you look at the numbers of this meeting, compare them to when we used to have in-person meetings, you're going to find approximately the same number of people participating.
Oh,
You
good.
know, if I can then add on to the conversation. So if we're kind of going to Zoom with perhaps a modified thing where we have a screen down in the lobby for that, we might be able to use the money that we set aside for assembly to get a bigger screen to do that, that piece of it. And then the other thing though is that we couldn't do it this year because we're still concerned about COVID, but any decision on this, if we go with Zoom, doesn't preclude us from having an on-site potluck after the meeting. Because I'm already missing that piece.
There's the bingo.
Exactly. So how do you think we should proceed? Have David or somebody looking into staying with the Zoom, but also providing a facility in the lobby for people to watch it?
Yeah, the EMT will take that on.
Okay, all
Try
right.
to handle it for the March meeting.
That's a good idea.
Good idea.
Thank you. Anything else? Any other comments or questions?
Well, just real quick, we discussed yesterday about the hotel use. I sent a note to David, but I would be willing to work on some sort of a document that we can put out to just remind people about the benefits of the hotel and how to use it. Because being that it's about 1/10 of our budget, like I really think we should, strive to make sure everybody's maximizing what, the takeaways from the hotel, right? So if people don't know because they're new, or people forgot how to use the hotel, or what benefits are we're paying for, I would be willing to work with anybody to create that document, right? So we can put it out maybe at the beginning of every season, like I'll just refresh people that it's out there and to use the hotel, right?
Good
Yeah.
idea.
That'd be good.
Good idea.
Very good.
Great idea.
Great.
Tag, you're it.
And that wasn't my idea. I think that was David Rostat. So David Rostat, feel free to jump on board.
He's not there.
Looks like he's swimming or something.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, there he is. There's David.
He's just listening.
Well, thanks. That's great. You can do that.
Okay.
What time will the AGM be on March 12th?
I don't know.
Okay.
10 o'clock, I
It'll be
guess.
It'll be the
Same.
same. It'll be
Probably
the same.
10 o'clock.
And
10
I,
o'clock.
10 a.m.
Final call would be 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock Central Time.
See.
thank you.
Well, that's one thing too. If we're going to do this via Zoom, like here in Alberta, it's 9, and on the West Coast, it's going to be 8. So I don't know if we're thinking about Zoom, if we want to revisit when we want to have these meetings, because perhaps that was part of it, is like we're too early for some folks. I don't know.
You might have to send somebody over to wake you up there, Greg, eh?
Well, I'm here.
Sue was the one had to get up early.
Oh, yeah.
Sue is the only one.
Can't hear you.
We don't mind that it's early.
No, we're good.
No,
Well, I mean, just to be honest, the practical side, having meetings in the middle of the day means that your morning's pretty much taken up waiting for it, and your afternoon is
Yeah.
diminished because you had to have it. So I kind of like to keep the same time just so you
Yeah.
can maximize the time.
it's not a big deal.
Unless something drastically changes, it'll be 10 a.m. for a last call.
We will need our afternoons free to cook for the potluck. And
Exactly.
Somebody cooks.
Good idea.
Any other questions?
Include me in that.
I think Joe's got one.
I just had a question. Mine is a comment. I want you to reflect back this last year and a half when it comes to the staff during COVID. There was no vaccine at that time. At times, there was no public transportation for them to get here, and yet they did. Last year, I want to thank Shirley for collecting for the staff appreciation. And this year, Sue and I are going to take over because Shirley's busy in the lobby. So for those of you that already donated, thank you for donating to the staff. We're asking this year 1,000 pesos per unit. We usually get about 50% of the people in the building, which equates to about $100 a person. So if you haven't contributed yet, we're still open for the rest of the season, but the staff really went up and beyond this year with no vaccines and transportation. So anything you can do, we'd appreciate it. Or if you want to do it on your own, that's your choice as well. So that's it.
Oh.
Thank you. Anyone else? Shirley?
At the risk of becoming more of a nuisance than I've already been, the fence out front. Yeah, most people, I understand that it's going to be the white PVC pipe across the whole front of the building. And so I just throw out there, there's so many people here that it would probably be a good idea, or it might be a good idea, and I will never say another word after this, to just confirm with everyone here that they have a clear understanding that the PVC will be a white PVC across the whole front of the building as it is on the side, as opposed to perhaps a gray, or someone came to me yesterday and said there was a black available. I don't know the answer to that, but just to confirm that everybody is aware it's going to be across the whole front.
Question. I agree, Shirley. That PV piping out front does not sit well with me. I cannot believe we'd all accept white PV tubing for across the front of the building. To me, that would be unacceptable. This is a beautiful building, and I think the what do you call it from the street? You're a realtor, Shirley.
Curb appeal.
Curb appeal is not good. There's got to be a way we can get that white into a black or something. I've been thinking about that, Shirley, as well, and it just doesn't sit well with me.
Can I just pop in for a minute? It's Bonnie. I talked to Shirley about the black PSP or the whatever PCP or whatever it is. They have it at Home Depot, and I would love to see the black stay. Whether they do, the white just doesn't work for me. So I'm just piping.
Okay.
Thank you,
Bonnie.
So,
Right.
Is that difficult, Scott?
what was the reason we were going with the PVC tubing in the first place, Shirley?
Too expensive.
Was it much more reasonable?
Maintenance,
Economic?
maintenance.
Maintenance.
Yeah.
Well, the black wouldn't need maintenance.
Well, the black.
No, but the
Okay, hey, so, okay, the people that don't like it, I would just suggest that you go look into, there are other colors available. It's the structural piece. The white PVC is the strongest out there. It can be buried underground. It can do all kinds of things. The black is a much thinner one. It's not as rugged as the other one. There's also a green one, a light green one, and there's a gray one. And the gray one also, I think, has some underground qualities, but I can't recall. And our maintenance people are the ones that, you know, designated and found the strongest, you know, PVC that was available. And that's all I can say. I mean, I'm sort of out of the conversation now.
Maybe the strongest, Mike, but can we not spray it or paint it or something?
You can do whatever you want to with it, Bill. Have at it.
Well, I need you to help me, buddy.
No. You should have spoke up 3 years ago when we started this, so.
We didn't know it to be white.
any other discussion on this?
I haven't changed my thoughts.
That's what-
It sounds like the choice has been made and they're proceeding with it.
It's actually a creamy color. It's not pure white, just to let you know.
Whatever the majority.
Is the writing inward or is the writing facing the street on the writing on the PVC?
The writing will not appear on that. The writing is removed.
Yeah, there was some talk about that before, Mike. That's why I asked.
Yeah, it's all cleaned up.
Yeah, they were power washing the front ones just yesterday.
Okay, that sounds good.
Well, definitely be an improvement over having to maintain those metal ones for all those years, and they're falling apart and they look like hell.
There's no question, metal and steel in Mexico is not a good idea, and I understand that. And I understand the PVC is more durable. There's no question. I was just concerned about the color, that's all.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think we've maybe beat it to death. I don't know. Okay, any other questions, comments on anything? Okay, that concludes our question and answer period. Thank you very much for your participation. Now we want to, I hereby instruct the secretary, Claudia, to prepare the minutes of this meeting and to send these minutes to the Vigilance Committee of 2021 for review and approval. In accordance with the state of Nayarit condominium laws, this assembly is required to answer the phone. This assembly is required to designate an individual to take the minutes of this meeting to a notary office for certification. For this purpose, I propose that licensed Claudia Cardenia Luna be authorized to obtain the necessary certification on behalf of our condominium. Can we now have a motion to go ahead and approve this designation? Somebody? Jolene?
103.
103, yeah. All in
Debbie-
favor?
Debbie seconds.
Okay, Debbie second, yeah. All in favor? Okay, unanimous. Approved. We now need a motion to go ahead and approve the minutes of this meeting as read by Claudia. Sorry, we can either take a short break now for her to put the minutes together, or if she's ready, she can just go.
I am ready.
Okay,
I'm
so
ready.
go ahead, Claudia.
Thank you. Okay. Well, we start in third call for this meeting. We have the 28% of the condos, 17 units, 23.3 pro indiviso. The person that was designated as president is Kate Walton, and scrutineers David and Ross McCordy. And they appointed me as a secretary, Claudia Cadena secretary. The third issue was the presentation of activities report for Ocean Vista Residence Condominium for the second and third quarters of 21, including the capital budget plan. And David Lopez presented the report. He talks about the pedestrian door enforcement frame, dimmable terrazzo lamps, maintain tools, purchase of 300 power pumps, purchase of 3 parota table, among others, that all this, his report will be included in the minute. Then we vote in unanimous to approve the report of maintenance. The fourth issue was the presentation and approval of Ocean Vista Residence to 2022 budget, including the capital projects. The president of the assembly detailed that in previous meeting, the budget and capital projects were sent to all condominiums owners, and see the use of voice to West Beers that state his report will be included in the meeting as well, the report of West Beers. Then the chairman was supporting first instance by condo owner of unit 504 to vote in favor. So by the unanimous faculty to do, please approve Ocean Vista Residence 2022 budget. It will be attached in the minutes as Annex A. Then the capital projects, including 2022, approved as well by unanimous. It will be attached. The budget reflects in Annex B will be attached, as well as approved by unanimous vote of the faculties to do so. And the budget reflects in for the contributions as well. We will be attached and was voted in this point. Then we go to the 5th point, date for the next meeting. It's March 12 to 2022. And it's been approved by unanimous. Then was a period of maximum 30 minutes in the 6th issue of questions and answers. And the following topics are addressed. First, Mr. West gave a recognition to Shirley because they donate 2 big pots and proper plans. Claudia Cadena, gave a report on Gassi's case. West mentioned that it would be a good idea to get the opinion of the persons, of the owners, to keep doing the assemblies on Zoom or regular assemblies. Mr. Trisinka mentioned it's great to do it in Zoom, and it would be a good idea to combine, because give the opportunity for those that are not inside to participate. Shirley Rudolph mentioned might be possible to have screening a group, for example, in the lobby, so people can get together. So it will be combined Zoom and in presence, because some persons were confused about the meeting in Zoom. Mr. West mentioned that some of the funds for assembly can be used to have this meeting in Zoom, and some presses, for example, with the screen and laptop in the lobby. They will work with some ideas. Mr. Greg Arce want to work up some document to give the owners the idea of benefits of the hotel service, to let them know what benefits they are having, what are the rights that they're having by paying that. Mr. Frank Galus mentioned that thanks for the donation for the staff, the COVID transportation. Shirley Rudolph asked to make sure that PVC will be white across the front building. It was some persons that mentioned rather to have it black or white. Michael simply mentioned that black is stronger. That's why is that color.
White is stronger.
The white is stronger or the black?
White.
The white. Oh, let me change that. White. Okay. Sorry. White. 7 issue appointment of the Assembly Special Delegate in order for them to appear before notary public of their choice and notarize the agreements taken during the Assembly. The chairman proposed myself, Claudia Cadena, to go to the notary. So by the unanimous vote of the faculty to do so, the following person are appointed as special delegate of the meeting in order to appear before notary public of their choice and notarize the agreement taken during the Assembly. Claudia Georgina Cadena Luna.
I don't recognize that.
8 issue is drafting without an approval of the minutes. So this is what I'm doing right now.
Okay.
Yeah, do you want me to include something, correct something that I mentioned? All the reports will be included, the budget and the reports that you mentioned in the more at the beginning of the assembly. So everything.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Excellent. We now need a motion to go ahead and approve the minutes of this meeting as read by Claudia. We have someone? Deb?
Second.
302. Second?
103.
103. All those in favor? Unanimous.
Thank you.
Okay, we now reached the end of the meeting. fairly short. Before I call for an adjournment, I'd like to thank each and every owner present for attending today's meeting and for your patience. Likewise, I'd like to thank all of the support staff who have assisted in the presentation of this meeting. I know it's a lot of work for everyone. We now need a motion to adjourn the meeting. Name, unit number. We're going to adjourn. Debbie again.
302.
Second.
103.
103. Okay. Unanimously approved. Thank you very much. The meeting is adjourned.
Thanks, everybody.
Everyone, see you
Thanks.
soon.
Everyone
Thank you.
stay soon.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a nice
Thanks,
weekend.
Keith.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I think Zoom's working pretty well right now. Have a good
Muchas
day.
gracias, David. Que estén muy bien todos.
Que mejore de su
Thanks,
operación.
Claudia.
Muchas
Hasta luego, buen día.
gracias.
Thank you
Buen
very
día.
much. Have a nice day and
Thanks,
weekend.
Claudia.
Thank you. Thank you.
Gracias.
Hasta luego, buen día.
David. Thanks, Frank. I can't hear you.
Thank you.
Bill's there.
Oh,
Oh. Bill's, yeah, how you doing, Bill? You're muted. You're muted. You're muted, yeah. Frank's muted too.
How's
David,
that?
yes, you're good.
there you go.
Frank's muted and David's muted.
I'm not muted now.
There you're
Hey,
good.
David.
Yeah, You're
No.
good. Thanks, David. You're still muted.
Thanks, David.
There he is. There he is.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Great
I'm
job,
gonna
Keith.
go out from the meeting.
job,
so
Keith.
you can
Thank
talk.
you.
Thank you.
It's okay.
See ya.
Hi, Frank.
Bye.
Hi,
Hi,
Margot.
Margot.
See you soon, guys.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, no
Won't be
kidding.
long.
We've been very lucky with the weather.
I heard that. Yeah,
No
very good.
kidding, yeah.
Awesome.
16 yesterday.
Was it really?
Wow, amazing.
Yeah.
16 degrees, Keith.
Yeah,
Unbelievable, eh?
yeah.
We're very, very, very fortunate. We had some ice on the lake 2 days ago, just
Yeah.
a thin a skin, and then it melted yesterday.
Yeah.
It looks great today, but we're in for it pretty soon.
We walked
Yeah, I
as
think
far
so.
as Michelle and back.
We take a long walk. We go to Michelle's place and back, Keith.
Oh, there you go.
Woo, that's
Good.
great. Yeah, well.
And
So-
we sit down for a rest and then come back.
Yeah. George and Baylor are coming down today.
I know. That's great.
I think
They're in
they're in
the
the air now. They're in the air now, I think, Keith.
You're
Yeah, they're in the area.
Yeah.
No, we're doing well. Everything's good. Rehab's going well.
Good. Your
I'm-
car's still running.
Good.
Keith, awesome, Keith. Thank you so much for doing that
That's
for
a
me.
big help.
Yeah, well,
That's
we'll get
good.
we'll get it all clean for when you come, so not to worry.
Oh, that's nice of you,
Would you what?
getting it all clean.
Oh, wow.
It's got a skin.
I
Good
owe you
scum.
big time, buddy. I owe you big time. Thank you.
Okay. No.
No, when I get down there, I'm gonna take it into Toyota, get an oil change. That's the only thing I have to do, which is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, so it's working good. That's great, Keith.
Yeah.
Can you get some half decent wine at Costco still or not?
Oh, yeah, there's lots of wine at Costco. Oh,
They
my
changed
God.
their display around a lot.
Yeah, they've moved it, so it's way over, where you go into where the
Automotive.
vegetables are and all that? The
Yeah,
wine
yeah.
and everything's way over there now.
So they
Oh, okay.
moved all the automotive stuff and all that kind of stuff out of the way, and they put it on the racks and everywhere.
Yeah, so it's
Oh.
quite different than Costco, but yeah, they got loads of wine, let me tell you.
Okay.
Wow.
In
Did a
fact,
great
Keith-
job this morning, Keith. Thank you.
We bought a box of Pinot Grigio by Kirkland
Yeah.
from California, and it's excellent.
he loves it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great.
I never had a box of wine in the fridge for years.
Yeah, well, it was really
Good way to-
cheap, so he figured, well, what the heck, it can't hurt to try it. He really likes it.
Good. That's good.
Everybody else is doing good here. There's more people showing up sort of all the time, but it's still not crazy.
Yeah.
Probably
And
20 or 22 units right now with mostly
Are
owners.
they-
somewhere.
Are they using the pool area and everything?
Yeah, the pool's nice and warm.
Yeah, well.
Good.
It's not that busy though.
Margot Kitchen and Grace, and I've seen Bonnie, they've been doing their little, in the pool at the deep end, sort of just doing their
Yeah.
spreading water, whatever they do. So they go in every day, and Margot
nice and warm.
Margot Kitchen's got her daughter and son-in-law here, and then the two sons were going to surprise her with their wives and come down as well. But the one son was the only one that could come because guess what? Tim, the other son, just got back from Scotland, and both of them have COVID.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
gee.
that's too bad.
Yeah, but
Anyway,
anyway, so
there-
she's happy that she's got her daughter and her son down here right now. So good thing she rented 201 because she's got 3 bedrooms.
Yeah. Well,
They seem like
I
they're.
need- Sorry, I need to use the pool for my knee to
Yeah.
exercise, so I'm glad it's nice and warm.
Well, so far, yeah, and they're also buying a new heat pump just for the pool and the spa.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
good.
I heard that, yeah,
Yeah, so it
No,
doesn't-
that's, we need to upgrade that. That's good.
yeah.
Yeah, because, well, I guess they're listening because last year was a cool year and then the pool was cool too, so it was hard.
Yeah,
People, but so far the pool's been good.
yeah. Betty Lou said to bring warm clothes because they froze last year.
I know they did. Well, right now they're not freezing, but
No, no,
it could
it hasn't
change.
changed.
We've had warm nights, 20 at night and 28, 29 during the day.
Okay,
It's beautiful. It hasn't cooled down at night too much, eh?
No, and it's yesterday was 77% humidity, so the humidity is a little high. But it hasn't rained, no, very few clouds at all, just nice days, pretty
oh,
nice.
you can walk all you want.
Yeah, in the morning especially is nice, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's great,
Keith, what's happening beside you there in that building? Anything at all?
Nothing,
good,
0.
good.
Is there a hole there? They done nothing?
Yeah, well, they took the tanks out, the cement tanks, and they cleared all the surface stuff is gone except for maybe one small tree. And other than that, they're not doing anything right now.
You just removed the tanks and that was it? Wow.
Yeah.
Can I mention about the PVC piping?
Yeah.
It actually is not white. It's kind of off-white. And actually, if we put gray up, gray does not go with our building at all.
No.
There's nothing gray in our building. Black, okay, but I think the white or the creamy color is subtle enough that it'll be okay. I mean, obviously, it's a different look from the metal black that we've had for years. But the reason that they put it in there is to basically, the maintenance of it is going to be so much easier than the metal fencing that we had before. Yeah.
No, that's good, Kathy.
Yeah. No, we just heard Shirley yesterday complaining about it.
I know, but
She was the only one.
it's been,
the only one that ever.
Yeah,
wants to complain. I
it's
don't
been
know why.
going up along the side of the building for 3 years.
Yeah, we've seen it. That's the same as that.
Yeah. So anyway, they were power washing the front yesterday when I took off for my walk, and I think it looks pretty good. So.
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah, everybody's got their own.
Is Federico's open or they did
No,
nothing?
No, we
He
saw.
saw him walking by the other day with a couple of guys with clipboards, so I don't know what they were
Yeah,
doing.
maybe he's trying to sell it now. 'Cause
Maybe
it's-
he's trying to sell a lot. I don't
Yeah,
know,
we
but-
heard
No.
that somebody absconded, maybe a partner or whatever, and took the money, and he's got nothing now, so.
Oh,
So the deal's falling down, eh, Keith?
Apparently, we didn't stop
The
and talk to
structure,
him. He
the
was
mess
busy,
structure is still there, Bill, but nothing's happened.
but Just like a bunch of
There's-
rubble.
Wow.
there's so many crooks.
Yeah.
Keith, what are you guys changing gears here? What do you think of the lobby?
Oh, we really
It's coming
like it.
along, yeah.
Looks really good.
Come along.
I don't think we've seen a picture of it, have we?
No, they were supposed to send pictures of the lights at night and stuff, but we didn't
Oh, well,
get it.
he had some today, but maybe you didn't see
You
them.
probably didn't see them, but he had them on the screen.
David
but-
has,
but they
David
weren't
has
that big.
pictures.
Yeah, David has pictures.
It
So,
looks nice at night. During the day, not as much because it doesn't have the lights on during the day. But then
Yeah.
they don't have the new furniture and all the pots yet.
But we
Oh.
save a lot of money on electricity, obviously.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Margot, I'll go down today and I'll take some pictures of the actual guard place. They've done an
Yeah.
awesome job of that.
They
That
put a
looks
new- They
amazing.
put a new front on the guard window.
You,
there.
you don't even recognize it. It looks so beautiful. And then I'll take
Oh.
a couple of pictures, like Shirley did the pots outside, so I'll send them to you, okay?
Okay, that's great. Thanks, Kathy.
So you, so the furniture is in the lobby, Keith, or? it isn't?
No furniture, no pots.
Just the
in
old
lobby.
stuff's there, just the old stuff's
They're
there.
waiting for it.
When do they expect that to be in?
I don't know.
Things are on back order here too.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what do we got? The old furniture?
Yeah, and the new lighting, recessed lighting in the ceiling too, and at the bottom of the pillars. And we got a couple new pots out front that Shirley bought and they
Yeah.
put palms in
Palms
just at the bottom of the stairs out front.
Yeah.
Well, that's good, you guys. Thank
They
you.
look pretty good.
And what they're doing on the base where they have the lights around the pillars, they haven't finished that either, but it looks to me like they're gonna tile it because they've got sort of a sample tile around the one. The rest is just kind of cement. And then the lights, the hot lights are inside of it,
They
but
shine
it
up.
looks like they're gonna put all tile. So it looks like it's gonna be really good.
Oh, good.
Still got the Mayan look though, so. I
Yeah.
mean,
And it's
Yeah.
neutral. And the lights shine on those Mexican pictures that are way up high. And actually, I never noticed that really highlights the frames around them because they're kind of squirrely, you know? And
Oh,
you
yeah,
hadn't-
yeah. They're
you never really
indented. Yeah.
noticed that before, but now with the lights shining on them, it looks really good.
Oh, that's great.
I'm glad they kept it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, you know what? It's a history of our building. We can't get rid of
Yeah.
it.
No, there's enough history being erased by the Aboriginals.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, no
exactly.
kidding, yeah, rewrite the books.
Yeah.
Keith, I'm really anxious to hear about what that engineer says.
Yeah.
I mean, especially the foundation. I'm really
Yeah.
concerned about, interested in see what the outcome is.
We had Mike look at our other master bedroom as you come in, because there's a huge crack on the balcony.
Oh.
It takes up the whole side.
Are you kidding?
And he kind of just shrugged about it, but I'd like somebody to check it out.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, they're getting these guys to come in and do it. And the reason they are is because of
you
this
have to make
building
sure that,
in Florida.
Yeah,
know.
but they're just gonna do the foundation, I
they need
thought.
to look at stuff like that, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
we can mention
because
it.
we won't be there when he's there, so maybe you can ask him to.
Well, we'll talk to David because David's the person
Yeah.
that's getting these people. So, yeah.
It's right on the ensuite as you come in on the right-hand side, the third bedroom,
Okay. Yeah.
on the
well,
right-hand side.
Yeah.
You can't miss it.
Yeah, you'll
It's-
see.
It's out on the deck there?
No. it's-
Yeah, on
Yeah.
the deck.
Oh, it's on the deck. Okay. all right.
Yeah, the whole side, like it goes all the way down.
Oh,
So I thought, yikes,
Well, I don't know about that.
you know, but I'm not an engineer, so.
Yeah.
well, yeah, they should know if there's rebar and stuff in there, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we'll talk to David. David's your best option because he will be able to talk Spanish to these guys.
Right.
I'll send a note to David.
Yeah, thank
Make sure-
you.
Stuff like that.
Who's that, just a second, who's that guy in California with the long hair, and the wife died? He's a hunter.
Oh,
He
the
said
dog,
he-
the dog,
the dog, I was gonna suggest,
bounty hunter.
I call the dog and we get a contract
Oh,
out,
yeah.
Yeah.
and maybe he can come up to Ocean Vista and
Would.
work on 503.
Yeah, well, he's making a real mess in 403.
Oh, I'm so glad I'm above him, not below.
Yeah, 'cause
Exactly, I feel
Bill's have
sorry
it's
for
a
Bill.
nightmare in 403, they
Yeah.
said.
I know.
And the water's been dripping down there forever. The valves are all rusted off.
What an idiot bathing like that. Oh, he's a pig.
If somebody decides to take him out though, Keith, I hope they get the right unit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right,
we're right
exactly.
above.
Yeah,
If our glass shatters, we'll know it's not meant for us.
yeah, right.
This guy, 500 and, how much, 850,000 pesos, about 41 US, 51 Canadian.
That's before fines. That's just maintenance.
Before the fines, that's just.
Oh, that's without fines, that's right.
fines, yeah.
Without fines, yeah.
Ay, ay, ay.
He'll
What a
never
guy.
pay.
He
the
looks,
well,
he looks.
They know
pretty healthy.
he'll never pay the fine, so.
No, they'll never get that. Well, we'll have to bribe that judge.
Well, yeah, the problem is, like Claudia said, you gotta be careful who you bribe right nowadays.
Because you
Yeah.
could end up at the bottom of the pile again, and you know, that's no good.
Yeah,
What do you call it? The judges are
Corrupt.
conflict of
No,
interest,
no,
yeah.
they're,
What?
they're crooked. They're
Oh, they're
they're
corrupt.
corrupt, like what,
Yeah,
You
but
just
you gotta-
fired them all.
what Bill was explaining yesterday. We waited 4 years and the judge says, well,
It was somebody else, not the judge.
they can
Yeah.
be bought. You want your name at the top of the list or the bottom of the list. I want it at the top of the list. Final Akasha, 450,000 or what?
Okay,
what-
so anyway,
50,000 pesos.
50,000
Yeah.
pesos.
which is only 2,000.
2,400 US or something.
Cheap.
Yeah.
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 Talk
Then
about
they fired,
corrupt.
they fired a bunch
know-
of them. Now they probably got new corrupt people, so I don't know.
Just bizarre, really bizarre.
Inflation.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's doing,
Yeah.
we're doing good here. The
Looking forward to
weather's
seeing
great.
you guys.
That's great.
Wayne, you say hello to Betty, Lou and George.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
We
taking them
wish
to
them a
Eddie's
good-
tonight for dinner.
We're going to Eddie's with them tonight.
That's a tradition. Yeah.
Keith, you did a great,
I
you did a great job, Keith. Like, the reason I
Then-
couldn't get on, I'll just tell you right now, just give me half a sec.
On my iPad, he couldn't get
Like,
on.
I've been able to get on your iPad for,
He had problems
a
the
couple
last
of times.
couple of times.
remember I said, Keith,
Yeah.
every time I go to pull in Zoom on the iPad, I get
Yeah.
Safari cannot open the page because the address isn't valid. Well,
Oh.
we've been on the iPad before on Zoom, but for some reason we couldn't get on the last 2 occasions.
What
So
about,
I look at it last night, so I pushed Zoom, the icon, it said downloading. Oh my God, it
So
wasn't
it
even,
wasn't even
it
downloaded.
was, it had
Oh,
been
you need-
downloaded, but we
Yeah.
lost it.
you have to have the app on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For some
So we
reason,
downloaded it again.
Bought a
and
new
all's good.
laptop.
yeah.
We
Yeah,
bought
so
a
we
new
downloaded
laptop.
it again and all's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we bought a new laptop at Costco and I had to do that too.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And
I'm glad it's
really good.
fixed. Yeah, that's great.
Our new laptop has a much better camera, right? So
Okay.
She
See,
got-
you don't have it on your laptop. This is my iPad.
yeah.
No, I'd like to get it on the laptop.
Well, it's good because you can get more people on the screen. It's a little easier to see,
Yeah.
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 So we'll download it on, how do you download it on the laptop?
We just
Just
go into Google and look up Zoom for PC. Download Zoom for the PC.
Download
Download Zoom for the PC, okay?
just zoom.ca, isn't it, Keith?
Well, I don't know what it is, but it'll tell you. It'll
Hang
come
on.
up with suggestions.
Yeah.
Zoom for PC?
Zoom
Yeah.
what?
Zoom for
Download
PC.
Zoom
Oh,
Okay,
Zoom for
on Google. On
Just-
Google.
Just Zoom for PC, okay.
on Google.
See what
Okay,
it says. If you don't understand it, just give me a call.
yeah, okay. Well, there won't be another meeting before we go,
No,
No,
but
we can always do a Zoom though.
just to practice.
Oh, yeah, we could do that, sure.
Yeah.
How's Rosita running?
Good. Touch wood.
She's a great car.
So far.
So anyway,
We haven't driven her for a couple of days, so we need to go down there.
yeah,
Yeah,
we're gonna pick them
We're
up.
going to the airport,
We'll
so
pick them up at the airport and we're trying to decide what to do because we know we need to get them to get groceries. So it's
Yeah.
either gonna be how George is feeling after he gets through this whole ordeal at the airport. So we're
Yeah.
thinking what we'll do is we'll bring them back here, leave George in the condo, because there's no point to them unpacking yet because they've been packed for four weeks already practically.
yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
So then Betty Lou and I and Keith will just go to La Comer and get them some groceries and stuff for tomorrow.
Now, is Costco very busy?
We've only been once and
Okay.
it wasn't, no, I guess we were twice. We went last Sunday, it was busy.
we're busy with
Really busy.
Mexicans.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah,
We
Sunday.
walked in, Keith went to look for an inkjet printer thing, a refill, but we couldn't find it. So we literally just walked out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Sunday's a bad day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so, but you know what? We got it online.
The
We ordered it online and we've got it right now. It's already
I
here.
ordered
Amazon.
yeah. DHL delivered it the other day. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was great. It's, you don't even know shopping around anymore. You just go online and order stuff and it comes to the
So
building.
they got a beautiful big Costco service station, but it wasn't open.
Yet.
Wow.
Wow.
Same
Yeah,
as
because
Same as on the
Isn't it-
Tushina Nation. They had 3 pumps at each station and the whole 9 yards, all marked out. Everything was beautiful, but it wasn't open.
It's not open yet.
Because the government is in charge of the gas.
Could be. There's some other stations now too,
But
different
Shell,
names.
but Shell, there's still that one Shell, you know, downtown,
Yeah.
you know, across from San Javier. Shell's still there, and there's another one. You remember the one where you got ripped off, the Pemex
Yes,
over
yes.
here? Well, it's a different name now too. It's not Pemex anymore
There's
either.
some different names now.
I guess they gotta grease some hands
Yeah,
to get it open.
that's
Yeah.
right, yeah.
Yeah,
I imagine they do, yeah. Because
Yeah.
it's all ready to go, it looks like, unless they can't get gas or something. I don't know.
yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. That'd be nice.
Yeah, we'll find out probably tomorrow if it's open yet.
Yeah, because I think we'll take you tomorrow to Costco.
We need to go.
so, yeah, we have to-
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
something more than
Well,
that.
have fun, you guys.
Yeah, thanks. We'll talk to you shortly.
Yeah.
Great job this morning, Keith. Thanks very much.
Nice
Yeah,
seeing
if you
you.
want, if you get that thing downloaded on your laptop, with Zoom, maybe we can do a test this.
Yeah, we'll do a test run.
All right, take care.
Sounds good. Take care. Have a great day.
Have a good day, you guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.